So thank you all for being here. Super excited to have you get a chance to talk with Orlando Gomez, who runs his own video production company and has tons of experience in video and movies and TV and all kinds of fun stuff. We have actually known each other since second grade. And believe it or not, I was editing videos with him in his room back in the day when he first got started with all of this. So really excited for him to be here. If you all have any questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat and we will try to answer as many of them as possible. And Orlando, go ahead and take it away.
Awesome. All right. Well, first of all, I hope everyone's doing well today. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here and chat a little bit about what I do and a little bit about the film world, and hopefully answer some questions for you guys. Yeah, like Mr. Yates said, that's gonna take some practice. But yeah, I'm Orlando. I run a Stellar Lens Productions. That is a local video production and marketing company here in town. And then I'm also, through the company, also doing a lot of work in the film and TV world. Currently, right now, we have a TV series not in production, we're in development with a studio down in Hollywood. We are actually meeting after this. We will be talking about some more changes we got to make before we make a pitch to an A-list actor that you all know, that I can't talk about yet, but is really exciting. And we also got a feature film in development as well that we're hoping to shoot here in the fall in Fresno, also bringing in some people you'll know. But yeah, so I don't know, where do you want to start? Kind of like how I fell into this and what drew me into the film world, or what do you think?
Yeah, I think maybe just give a little bit of your background and then maybe just talk about some of your experiences. We have a mixed group in here. We have students who are interested in like video production as a whole, maybe becoming directors, acting. So maybe just kind of talk about your experiences in general in this world.
Absolutely. So for me, I got into the arts and media very early. So I mean, elementary school, I was already entertaining the idea of acting, doing school plays, and it took choir, it took all, the art stuff. But it was really probably about junior high, 7th, 8th grade that I started to take video seriously as something that, I wanted to make my thing. I was not very athletic, even though I kind of was forced to do that growing up. And so that wasn't really my thing. I was better at arts and technology. And so I discovered filmmaking and started doing little videos with my cousins and with my friends. And then through high school, making all kinds of weird stuff in high school. That was very fun to do. And I think I just kept doing that and just really falling in love with the art, with the craft, learning editing, learning shot composition, learning how cameras work, learning what makes a scene funny, working on all of those technical things. And then just decided, let's just keep doing this. After high school, went to City College, was doing video stuff on the side, and started trying to apply different places to try to get production jobs and get work in the industry. And I wasn't really getting any luck with that. No one would call me back, let alone hire me. So I decided I wasn't going to wait around for an opportunity or to allow opportunity to be denied to me. And I was like, you know what, let's just make this a legit business and we'll create our own opportunity. And that's what I'm still doing 16 years later. So yeah, I think a good place to start, and here's the other thing too, is like I wasn't business savvy. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I just knew that I loved filmmaking, I love visual storytelling, and I wanted to find a way to make that something that I can do every day for the rest of my life. So I had to force myself to learn. So I had to take classes. I did a lot of studying on YouTube. I did a lot of asking questions to other business professionals, finding mentors. And it was a lot of work. It was a lot of work that I didn't know that I was going to have to do, but it allowed me the opportunity to do what I wanted to do. So it's not all fun and games, but if I didn't do all that, I I know I wouldn't be where I am now. I wouldn't be able to talk about, TV shows and movies that I get to be a part of, and those things, because it wouldn't have happened. So I don't know. I guess the big thing is that it is a lot of work. There's a lot to learn, but you got to allow your passion and your creativity and your desire to do that, to fuel and to encourage and motivate yourself to do the hard stuff, the things that is not fun. I'll tell you right now, it's not fun. It's not exciting to run a business and run payroll and and do contracts and scheduling and managing staff. It's work. But once that's all done and we get out there and we get on set and we're filming stuff and we're making things, and at the end of the day, it's all done and we can sit back and we can watch this video that we made from scratch, didn't exist before we put our hands to it. It's awesome. And I absolutely love that. And it makes all that work worth it. And so if that's where you all are at, if it's acting or running a camera and being a cinematographer or being a director, or even just whatever that thing may be for you, I would encourage you to let that passion fuel and push you to do the hard work that is required to make that sustainable and make that the thing you can do for the rest of your life.
What would you suggest to students right now that are, in 7th, 8th grade, that are looking toward maybe having a future career in this industry? I mean, I've watched you grind for 15 years to get where you wanted to go, right? So what kind of mindset, should people start having? What kind of things should they be thinking about now to really get into this type of career?
Yeah, so practically speaking, it's simple. Do it. Go do something. Go pick up a camera. When I started, I was borrowing my parents' little VHS handy camcorder that they had lying around the house. And so it's like, use whatever you have. I didn't have lights, I didn't have sound, I didn't have actors. I had me, 2 of my cousins, and occasionally a couple of friends, and we would just go and make stuff. Now you can shoot on your phone. You have editing software on your phone. I mean, you can learn the principles and you can get your practice in. Because here's the deal. I don't show anybody the stuff that I made in the early years because it is horrible. It's embarrassing, but you got to get through that part. You got to just do something, cut your teeth on it, make some horrible content that you're going to be embarrassed of in 10 years. But that's where you start. We all start there. And it just comes from just doing it. And then along the ways, YouTube's a great asset. I didn't have YouTube when I started. In fact, when I was making videos, I was uploading things to Yahoo Video. YouTube didn't exist yet. It was Yahoo Video. It was Funny or Die, and it was other random websites that allowed video hosting. And so now there's this great place where you can not only put your content out there, but you can go and you can learn from other people. You can learn about color theory. You can learn about editing techniques. You can learn how to use software, and that's going to come down to your own due diligence and persistence in wanting to learn. But the bottom line is just go do something. Go film something. Even if you just got to set it up, on a table, your camera up on a table somewhere, and you film yourself doing it. You still learn the basics of framing, timing, how you put this together in an edit. All those things come from everything you film.
We know this world takes a lot of hard work and determination and follow through to make it happen. But tell us some of the fun stuff. What have been some of your favorite experiences to this point?
Yeah, I've had a lot of really fun experiences, to be honest. I've got to go all over the country and film interviews with pro athletes, with the NFL and the MLB. I've gone to red carpet premieres in LA and been alongside movie stars, and it's weird and it's awesome and it's cool. And but really for me, it's just the creating. It's that idea that this thing didn't exist and I had this idea and I wanted to make this thing and I found a way to make it and now it exists. That is truly the best part about it. All the other flair and fandom is, that's cool, but it's not about that. It's about getting this thing that is you out into the world, your creation. But I don't know, one of the fun things I think, and also ended up being a pretty pivotal part in my career, was we applied for, it was an online game show, basically. It was like the internet, is called Internet Icon, and think of it as like American Idol or any of those other contestant shows, where, except it's for video, specifically for YouTubers. And so you would basically submit a video and to show that you were good enough to be on the show, and then they picked 100 people to go down to LA and to LA Center Studios, which is a beautiful, awesome movie studio. And then you compete, and then they narrow down the 100 people to 10, and then basically took those 10 people, and every day there was a new video challenge. You had to create a new video to those specifications, and then they would eliminate somebody after every round. And the grand prize was you would get a chance to meet this Hollywood director, Andy Fickman, and his staff, and you know, kind of get to pitch ideas to him. So I applied. I sent a video in, which I believe you'll be sharing the link with them, or I'll share a link with them. They can check it out. It was our audition tape, and we got selected, and we went down to LA and we got to compete. We made it to the top 10. And then the first challenge was we had to make a vlog, and I had never heard the word vlog before when that happened at that time. And so we did the best we could, and we ended up actually getting eliminated right off the bat. We were the first team out after we made the cut, which was really disappointing. But as we were packing up and we were getting all of our stuff into the car and about to leave LA, heading back to Fresno, the director, Andy Fickman, and his producer, Betsy Sullinger, and the director of the show, DJ Viola, all came out like, hey guys, hold up, don't hold on, we want to talk to you. And we were like, us? You want to talk to us? And they were like, you guys are amazing. You guys have some real talent. Like, you know, when this is all done, you know, I know that, you know, that the winner is supposed to have a meeting with us, but when this is all done, here's our contact information, here's our email, here's our phone number. Give us a call. We want to meet with you. And that's exactly what happened. So we lost. We were the first ones eliminated, and we got the grand prize, which was to meet with this director. And he and his team are actually the ones who are helping us produce the TV show that we have in development right now. So crazy story.
Man, that's awesome. So just completely dejected, we lost, we're out of here, to now we have this amazing opportunity and this connection that has stayed with you and has given you more opportunities down the line.
Yep. And that was like 7 years ago, I think, something like that. And so, yeah, he's giving me other work. And
it feels like this industry, there's a lot of that, right? Like about making connections and just taking opportunities, and a lot of no's that eventually will turn into a yes.
Yeah, so it's interesting. So I used to hear a lot the discussion of, you know, is it about who you know or is it about what you know? And I was always a what you know person. That was my philosophy. You need to know your stuff, you need to be good at what you do, and the rest will fall into place. And then when I actually moved out to LA and actually worked on stuff out there, I quickly realized, you know, there's a lot of who you know. It's a lot of your network. It has a lot to do with your network, but it's who you know. And once you know somebody, it falls heavily on what you know. You better know your stuff. So the idea is you better know your stuff, so that way when you do have those contacts, you go right to work. You know, they're not going to wait around for you to learn or for you to get better. The last thing you want to do is be in position where you meet somebody and you don't have the goods to deliver, right? So it is a little bit of both. And in fact, right now, Andy had advised me as we're working on the show. He's like, start writing your next show. Write your next show, write a couple of movie scripts, because when we get out to the studios and we're on set and you start rubbing shoulders with producers, you don't know who you're going to run into. And the last thing you want is for someone to ask, well, what else do you have? And you have nothing. So you don't want that. So
start ready for those opportunities to come.
Got to be ready. So that means, what does that mean? That means I got to do more work. That means while I'm trying to make this show, I'm also trying to create ideas and concepts and pitch decks and scripts for new content, just for the opportunity to be ready if and when this one goes through, and then I get to meet somebody, I can say, oh, by the way, I have this as well. So yeah, it's it's both. It's who you know and what you know.
So if I'm passionate about film, TV, I want to be on set, but I don't want all the responsibility of running my own production company, what other opportunities are there?
Absolutely. So to be perfectly honest, I think it's you're better for it if you don't want to run a business. To be perfectly honest, in Hollywood and in the industry, if you know exactly what you want to do, if you know you want to be an actor, you know you want to be a director, you know you want to be actually director is a little more tricky, but you want to be a cinematographer, you want to do photos, you want to do hair and makeup on set, you want to do wardrobe, whatever, any of these things. Again, do it, build a resume. If you want to direct and you want to be a cinematographer, you want to work in production, you go volunteer. There's plenty of businesses and nonprofits and good causes and charities who would be more than happy to get some free publicity and some free marketing. Go and do it. Work on how you work with a client, use it as a learning opportunity. How do you talk to an industry professional? How do you talk to a client? How do you set and meet deadlines and get the work done and get the work done well, making sure the client is happy? Build your reputation of being someone who is easy to work with, someone who can deliver, someone who is reliable, and start building that resume. And one job leads to another. It always does. There's the saying, work begets work. And you do that. And as a freelancer, which is what that would be if you don't own your own production company, it's a little easier because it's a little more fluid. You can move from company to company and show to show or project to project. But the principles are still the same. You still got to put in the work. You still got to make sure you're learning and staying tip top on trends and what people are expecting, and build your network. Just do the job, build your network, build those credits, stay out there.
All right, everybody. So if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat, or you're welcome to unmute yourself at this point too if you'd like to ask it. We are recording, so just keep that in mind. But one last question for you. So locally, what kind of opportunities are there for students who are interested in acting or filmmaking and things like that?
So right now it's a little tricky just because of COVID and everything. But typically, I mean, there's acting theaters, there's acting classes. You can reach out to production companies and see, who's filming what and if there's opportunity there. A lot of it too is being active in the YouTube, or not YouTube, the Facebook sphere. There's a lot of like job postings and things that happen there within the production company world. But again, like I really can't stress enough. Sometimes you got to create your own opportunity. You don't want to be sitting around waiting for there to be the right job with the right people that fits your availability, that they want somebody new on set. Like you kind of just got to forge your own way, and just start doing it. Make your own content, and that spreads. People, the film community is very small, especially in Fresno. So in the Fresno Clovis area, it's very small. We all know each other. We all know what everybody's working on. So if you start to create content on a regular basis and you start putting it out there, and you get some traction and your work starts to improve, and people will take notice. They'll be aware, and you're more likely to get invited onto a set when you've already been doing stuff yourself, because it shows you're willing to do the work. You're self-motivated. You clearly have some understanding of how the industry works because you're doing it. You're building all these assets and these attributes that are not necessarily like skills. It's more like personality, and it's work ethic, and that stuff is really valuable. It's very valuable in the production world. So yeah, yes, there are acting classes and production companies that you can get involved with, but I still maintain, especially when you're young and you have time, and you don't have bills to pay and other crazy responsibilities you got to worry about, like just put your passion into action and do something, and then in time that will lead you to the opportunities you want.
I think that's an awesome message. I hope everybody hears that, right? It is all about creating your own opportunities and going after whatever passion it is that you have, and with the full force of what you have behind you. And I think Orlando's a really good example. If he knew early on this is the world he wanted to live in and has just worked and grinded the entire time to make that happen. There's been times where it's been tough, and there's been times where it has been amazingly fun, right? And you've experienced both sides of that coin. And so I think all of you, if this is where you want to go, here's your opportunity, right? You heard it straight from somebody who's done it. Go out there and just seize the moment and take every opportunity that presents itself. And if you don't find an opportunity, create your own. You definitely have the ability to do that. Okay, it looks like we have one question here. Are there any programs or basic equipment that students can use to create content just using a cell phone or basic camera?
Yeah, so I believe all Apple computers come with, so laptop or your computer all comes with like iMovie. That's standard. So you can definitely start learning that. And the cool thing about iMovie is it's over the years, it's slowly becoming more of a traditional editing platform. And so like the way it functions and the way it operates, while it's limited, it behaves very much in the same way. But yeah, start out, I would just say, yeah, just use your phone. Use your phone. I'm trying to. I think Adobe has an app, and I don't remember what it's called off the top of my head. I apologize. But you could search for it. It's like Premiere Express or something like that, and it's basically a very stripped down version of an editing platform directly on your phone. So you could shoot on your phone, import it directly into your app, and then edit everything there and export it out, and the video's done. You know, and then when you can, upgrade to a DSLR, you know, that you can pick up at Best Buy or anywhere else at electronics store, and you know, get familiar with using a lens, so a camera with an actual lens, as opposed to, you know, just that's built in. You have no control over that, and learn, you know, your zooming, your focal lengths, your manual focusing, your iris and exposure, how much light comes in and out, how that changes your frame, how that changes the way things look, and then just start building from there. And then you buy Adobe Premiere proper, the actual program for your computer, and learn that beast of a machine. So my daughter is she's 9, and last year I made her start working on Premiere. For the longest time, she would just shoot stuff on her iPad, and she would edit in iMovie. And it's like, look, you can start learning. You don't have to learn all the little, you know, the details and intricacies and things that I do, but you can at least get familiar with the platform. And if she can do it, as reluctant and begrudgingly as she was, you guys can do it.
That's awesome. Well, thank you very much for joining us today. If you don't mind dropping that link to the video for the students to check out, that would be awesome. So you guys go look at this video that they submitted for that film competition and check it out. It's really cool. I think it's kind of funny. It's got a unique take on things, and obviously it was awesome, and it got them into the film competition. But you'll also get a little sneak peek of what my old apartment used to look like that is featured in this video too. So
that's right.
You'll get to see that.
You shot that in your apartment.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you again, sir. I really appreciate you being here and hanging out with us today. It was awesome to learn all about video production and kind of your whole industry. So.
Absolutely. Anytime.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of your day.